This is a practice exercise video solution. For this practice, we're going to begin with the supplied dataset control box-PE. We also want to make sure that we have knob1 and knob2-PE. We're going to begin by selecting the entire housing, front panel, and all the feet, and we're going to make sure that they're grounded in 3D space. As I begin to drag them, you can see that everything is free to move. So to get started, first I'm going to take the housing, I'm going to right-click and ground it. Then I'll go to Assemble, and I want to create a rigid group between the housing and the rest of the components. So we're going to select all the components in the browser, say OK, and now everything should be fixed in 3D space. Next, we're going to take knob 1 and drag and drop it into our current design. Once it's brought into the current design, the Move dialog box will automatically open. Let's go ahead and drag it forward and simply say OK to its position. Then we'll go to Assemble, Joint, and we're going to begin by selecting Revolute. We want to make sure that we take the knob from its current position and we place it on the front housing. If we need to, we can also flip the orientation by selecting Flip. Let's go back to a home view. We'll say OK, and let's validate the motion. Everything looks OK, so we'll revert the position, and we'll take knob 2 and drag and drop that into the current design. Once again, we're going to pull this forward, say OK, and then we want to go to Assemble, Joint, and once again, we're going to be creating that Revolute joint. I'm going to start by selecting the bottom face of the circular edge on our knob, and then the position where it needs to go, and flip if we need to. From here, we can take knob 2, and we can copy it by using Control or Command C, or by using the right-click menu and selecting Copy. Then I'm going to select the top level of the design, right-click, and I want to select Paste. In this instance, we want to make sure that we're not pasting a new version of it, but I'm going to drag it, in this case, 0.5 inches, and we'll say OK. Since this knob is in its current position, we can use an as-built Revolute joint as opposed to using a standard joint. We'll select the knob in the front cover, and then we need to select its position. This can be kind of hard if we don't have access to the center position, so we can hover over the face, hold down Control or Command, and then find that center location. We're going to say OK, and navigate back to a home view. At this point, we've placed the 3 knobs, but we want to modify their rotations. So let's go to a right view. I'm going to turn on Inspect Component Color Cycling so we can see the colors a little bit better. I'm going to expand the Joints folder, and I want to take a look at my Revolute 2, 3, and 4. For Rev 2, we'll right-click, and we want to edit the joint limit. We're going to set the minimum and maximum values, and we can do this by manually rotating on the screen. In this case, we want to go a total of 180 degrees, and we can say OK. This will allow the knob to only rotate 180 degrees, starting by rotating clockwise and then back counterclockwise. We're going to repeat the process, modifying Rev 3 and Rev 4. For Rev 3 and Rev 4, however, we only want to rotate 90 degrees. So I'm going to go, in this case, from 0 to minus 90, making sure that minus 90 is the minimum value. This should allow us to rotate it from the left position, or the 9 o'clock position, to the vertical position, or the 12 o'clock position. Let's repeat that one more time for Rev 4. Once again, setting the min and max values, we can use the on-screen manipulators to rotate it to 90 degrees and say OK. Now, each of these knobs should be able to rotate their maximum amount from 0 to 90 degrees or from 0 to 180. Let's revert the position, turn off component color cycling, navigate back to a home view, and make sure that we save this design.